I used to cast aside cosmetics and vanity items anytime I picked them up in a game, but after taking some time to focus on my own appearance in real life, I've come to appreciate the world of fashion and design. So here's my guide on how to maximize your looks and appearance in any game you play. Starting off with the most important area in my opinion, your clothes are what everyone around you sees first. First impressions are greatly influenced by what you're wearing, because a lot can be implied off what you have on at the moment. Make sure to dress appropriately for what you'll be doing, and take inspiration from other sources online. The world of fashion goes pretty in depth and can easily take up hours on this part of the video alone. If you guys are interested in a much more in-depth guide or specific aesthetic guides for individual outfits, let me know in the comments down below. As for some general tips to follow when making your outfits, try to incorporate some jewelry into your design. A ring, bracelet, or necklace can go a really long way when adding something unique to your designs. Whether they represent something like a quest you finished, or a boss you've slain, or some sort of philosophy and ideal, jewelry adds a subtle hint to make your outfits that much more memorable. Next up would be color theory. This won't be the definitive guide for that area either, like we mentioned before, but some things to look out for when you're coloring your outfits are to pick well-known or simple color combos. Black and white, light blue and navy blue, yellow and orange, pink and warm black are just some color schemes to get started, but the choice is up to you. Try not to make yourself look like a unicorn threw up, and play around with different combinations. Color theory takes a long time to get right, but once you get a feel for it, you could possibly use this skill in real life, on your own outfits, or by helping others. Last important tip about clothing, to keep the video from being 2 hours long, is to find pieces of clothing that complement your body proportions. If you're wearing wide bottom pants, try making the top slimmer and vice versa. If your character is going to be really tall, you might want to pick long fitting legs, or a skirt to show off their long legs. But if your character has a V-taper build, which is a wide back and small waist, then keep their back the main focal point and try your best to accentuate the torso as much as you can. Also, do keep in mind to fit clothes based on what and where your character is going to be going and doing. Don't make your character look like a gardener in prison, otherwise we'll start looking like a Fortnite crossover character. Your face is what you'll take everywhere, regardless of what you're doing and where you live. It's the primary asset that keeps you unique and tells your story. There's a lot of games out there that don't really let you see your character's face all that much because they're wearing full suits of armor, but many games like MMORPGs these days have complex character customization settings. If you want to look like the protagonist, I highly suggest you create your own face. It's much more worth it in the end than using a default head if the game allows it. There's a lot less when it comes to knowing how to design your own face than there are clothes, but there's still some major areas that you cannot neglect. The first one being facial structure. You're probably obligated to make a Giga Chad or a supermodel right off the bat, but these actually come off as being generic, especially in games where everyone looks almost the same if you use the default settings. To avoid this, create a character with unique facial features that match their ethnic backgrounds, occupation, age, as well as living conditions and habits. If you're making an Asian character, you might want to start off with a round facial structure or small noses. If your character has seen a lot of battles or been through a lot of traumatic experiences, try making them look like a survivor or someone at their lowest point. And if your character works some sort of sedentary job, try making them a bit more generic with room to improve. It makes a much more memorable design that will help blend together all of your other areas for a consistent final product. If you're stumped on where to go, you could always try your own face as a point of reference. Hair is just as important as your face, so make sure to pick a hairstyle that complements your character's head shape and doesn't look too over the top unless you're planning on designing them that way. There's nothing wrong with using popular hairstyles because there's a reason why they're popular in the first place. Try mixing and matching a bunch of different hairstyles until one fits the face that you already created. If you need inspirations, look for hairstyles that match your character's face shape. For instance, an oval shaped head will look great in these hairstyles. Some additions to make your characters look more interesting is by adding something like scars, tattoos, piercings, birthmarks, or glasses. Your face tells a story, so adding these small features can keep others guessing on how you got them, when did you get them, and why you got them. And like mentioned before, if your character has been through countless battles, make sure to show it through a few scars, but of course, don't overdo it. Having too many additions to your character's face can over-design them, so keep a few features and try to make them as prominent as you can to avoid taking away interest in what makes your character unique to begin with. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and your body is no different. This has to be the most commonly overlooked area when it comes to looksmaxxing your characters. When you create your character, try to think further beyond just looking cool or being appealing. Do your best to tell a story with your body by giving it unique and distinctive features like we mentioned before. Like we mentioned for your face, such as scars, tattoos, birthmarks, and body hair for starters. It's showcased many times in all sorts of different media, and you might already know who these characters are without even needing to see their face. Another area to consider when making your character's body is their build. What kind of occupation does your character have? Are they a quick and nimble assassin or a great intimidating brute? How old are they and what's their personality like? These kind of questions can be answered solely based on your character's build, so make sure you take the time to consider it before making a babyface Hulk Hogan account that just looks like someone Frankensteined a bunch of dolls together. And for all that is holy on this green earth, stop making your characters look like Greek gods all the time. Not every character should look like The Rock if they're a 60-year-old wizard who hasn't seen the light of day in years. Add some realism to your characters so it ties everything together and doesn't break the immersion of the game. You must be really into looksmaxxing your character if you watch the whole video all the way to the end. So if you're interested in more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to create more content if people ask for it. I know there's a lot in this video to take in all at once, but trial and error comes with the world of fashion, as well as feedback from other point of views and inspiration from different sources. I highly recommend you to join my Discord server with the link on my other channel and show off any outfits you made in there. I'd be delighted to see what kinds of outfits you can make and how much you grow as a designer. So thanks for watching and subscribe to level up your gaming experience. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Daddy, do the same walk. Goku. Let's say it. Shoot it.
What?